Deck building in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like an art, an outlet for creativity, mathematics, innovations, and logic. And I pride myself on my cutting-edge, methodical, and synergistic deck building. However, crafting a well-designed deck is not an easy feat to accomplish, and many duelists come to me seeking help to salvage the train wreck that is their deck. So on Decklist Nightmares, you can submit your deck lists to me, and each week I'll review 3 abominable deck lists and attempt to transform those monstrosities into an efficient and cohesive deck list. Welcome to Decklist Nightmares. Now before we begin, I want to remind you guys we're on the Jesse Cotton Highlights channel, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to catch all the further updates of this series and some of the best moments from my stream. As well as if you're interested in submitting your own deck list, you can do so with the link in the description. And lastly, this is supposed to be a play on Kitchen Nightmares by Gordon Ramsay. So while I will be providing real advice, I will also do so in a pretty brutal fashion, how you may see Gordon do on, say, Hell's Kitchen.
It's a bit like your brain. Not only is it shrunk, but it's disappeared.
So remember, this is all for the sake of entertainment, and I'm not trying to be vicious for the sake of destroying somebody's ego. And if you're going to submit your deck list, be prepared, it could happen to you. With that said, let's have some fun and fix some deck lists. All right, guys, welcome back to Decklist Nightmares. I think this is the 4th week now. We are getting into the groove of things. And today we have 3 decks picked out for me to look at, and I'm excited to see what we're going to fix, what decks we're going to save, because we have some cool ideas on here, and we're getting better. We're getting all the unique ideas out of the way, or to look at. We're gonna build upon those. Less bullshit piles though, because we got a lot of nonsense. So let's take a look at our first deck. Let me find it in our spreadsheet. First up, we've got My Body is Reggie submitted Power Monster Soup. His notes are, enjoy the meal, chef emoji. Power Monster Soup. Not sure exactly what that means, but I guess let's find out. What about this is Power Monster Soup? I don't... Live Twin Tenpai Sprites. Okay. Why? I'm struggling to comprehend this, because sometimes it feels like when you guys submit decks that you put it into ChatGPT and say, name 3 archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then mix them together. Because that's what this looks like. Okay, fine. There's also dangers in here. Okay. There's synergy between live twins and sprites. I'll give you that much. And then where does the rest of the synergy lie from? I love the fact that when you go gigantic sprites, lock your opponent out of using their interactions. You also lock yourself out of doing all of your stuff, because that's awesome. I love hurting myself. That's typically how the best decks are built. No evil twins. Dude, I haven't even got to the extra deck yet. Why did you tell me that? You can't send this dude first or second? Yeah, because they'll quit after the first move either way. They'll look at their hand, look at their extra deck, and be like, wow, my deck does nothing, and then concede. No evil twins in the extra deck. So what on the godforsaken reasons are you playing for the live twins? Like, what does it accomplish here? You get to make Anaconda or Gigantic or... Oh. At that point, why live twins? Also, do we have like the same kind of agreement on what power monsters mean? Because I don't know what this is power monster. Do you think summoning a little girl Lilla is like a power play or something? Because it's not. Also, talking about flexibility here, we've chosen to only play one of the special summon from hand live twin monsters. So we're just going to brick on these a fair bit of the time and not be able to play through hand traps, which is great. The 2 of Conundrum has returned, of course, because we got 2 Kaimans in this deck, complemented by 2 Cosmic Cyclones out of nowhere. That's great. We got the 1 Bell, 1 Nibiru in the deck. Nibiru, I mean, like, I'd want to say, why do you play Nibiru? That card doesn't matter against Sprite. You don't even need to cross it out because you have Gigantic. But I can't tell what this deck is trying to accomplish, so I can't even, like, tell you that's wrong because I have no fucking clue. As for Bell, you really need to cross out Bell. Of all things, Bell. Not Effect Veiler, mind you, that's not in the deck. Bell. 1 Fusion Destiny, because we decided that one's not worth drawing. That we went as a 1 of. Even though drawing that card is fine, you just don't have to go Anaconda. Don't mind me. And then what are we accomplishing with Danger monsters here? No Ogre either? I mean, I think I'd feel a little better about Ogre versus Bell. Like, fine. But Veiler over Bell? Like, that one should be obvious, right? I don't know how to fix this because you should never have built this. This was a mistake. You should go back and play whatever you were playing before this. because these things were not meant to be combined. If we want to really take the idea of some Sprite extension Tenpai fusion deck, where you just throw shit on the wall and see how it works, perhaps we can try that. And this is still a very big, small, like, if. What will you do instead? How about instead of these godforsaken live twins that accomplish effectively nothing, you play a field spell engine in this deck, right? Because you can make Ancient Fairy Dragon, and maybe that can help as well. With Nightmare Thrones, you can get yugioh cards, so Phantom. More importantly, you can get Beckoning Beast and Spirit Gates, which also act as extension tools to make, I guess, Sprite cards live. That's what you're trying to accomplish. Also, 3 Kaiman, for the love of God, that card is broken. The card, it should probably get hit for a good reason. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't play 3 of that. I feel like if you're going for a pile deck and you actually want power monsters in, as well, horse cards are just better. The dangers are just bad extenders, right? Like, dangers are good when you have graveyard effects, and they're good with grass. And curious. Notice how your deck has none of these things, by the way. Maybe you need level 3s. Does the deck have rank 3s? Let's take a look. No. So I ask you again, what the fuck are the dangers for? The only fair synergy, and I have to read Sanguine Summoning to know if this even works, is you can discard it off Sanguine Summoning, and then you get a danger trigger? Does that interaction give you that much serotonin that you have to do something that completely daft? Because there has to be so many other extenders or graveyard effects that are just better than a Jackalope. I love dangers. What the fuck is a Jackalope doing for you? What do you do after the Jackalope summons the Tsuchinoko? You make IP? Make Anaconda? I don't fucking know. You have Gigantic and Downer in the deck, which are fantastic. And the one thing dangers could be used for, arguably, is to make Charmers, Dark Hida, because those are great with Elf, Gigantic, Downer, Zeus. Also, no Charmers in the deck. Avermax is a fucking bum-ass card. We don't need that shit either. That card's bad. My recommendations would be drop the 2 Cosmics. Don't make sense. Duster as well probably doesn't make sense. Throw in a better range of hand traps. Put a Veiler in for Crossout if you're really that Suncheck on Crossout. Play the 3rd Kaiman. Switch up the Live Twin cards. Take out the Danger cards. Put in the Beckoning Beast yugioh cards and Horus cards. And if you want graveyard effects, you can find other stuff to do similar. You can play Shooting Riser Dragon with Fairy Tale Snow, and then end on like DPE plus Snow to have layered removal. That's not actually that bad. That is something you can consider and is solid. Play around with that. As well as discarding Snow of Sanguine Summoning. Approved. That is Chef Cotton approved. At this point, just add Runics in the mix. Okay. I'm not going to condone adding Runics in the mix, guys. We know better than to add a fucking Runic deck into Tenpais. Like, y'all meme about it, but there's no way that shit is remotely playable. Why not add Dark Magicians too? Yeah, why not? The deck's already a clusterfuck of nonsense. Mannequin Cat to get in Tenpai from the sprites sounds okay. That's a good idea, chat. Thank you. Mannequin Cat is not bad if you get Ash Blossom, because then special from your deck. You can also try a Nimble package in here, right? What if you play 3 Nimble Anglers, actually? Because that can work with Horus cards. It can also work with Spirit Gates, and it can also work with Sanguine Summoning. That might be a neat way of tying it all together, giving you a little more cohesion and reason compared to this, which looks like a discombobulated, disjointed, disconnected pile of dystopic trash. Yeah, I used the prefix dis too much there. I just wanted to diss this deck because it needs to be dissed. And please have a little more care and thought when you want to mix these decks together, because this just looks like an AI built deck, man. Maybe next time. Okay, what else do we have on our list? King Overlander submitted Goblins. Goblins is a real deck. Okay. New Goblin cards do support older Goblin cards. Oh, no. This is going to have Goblin attack force, isn't it? The synergy is here, trust. Vlad, did you pick a Goblin attack force deck? I swear to God. Oh, for Christ's sake, I have to read these cards. Oh, I don't want to do this. This sucks so... No. This looks like what happens when you let someone cook too much.
No! God, please, no! No!
This is overcooked. It's overcooked. Overcooked 4,000,000%. This is not ash. This is not charcoal. This is like... I don't even know. Like, it's more cooked than charcoal. What do you even call that? That's what I'm looking at. Real Goblin deck. It's so crowded of engine that after 48 cards are in the deck. 48! His non-engine count is 1 Talents, 1 Thrust, 2 Ashes, a Callbind, 3 Imperms. That's 8 cards! Which means he has 40 engine. 40 engine. And it's put inside, fuck it, 48, 8 non-engine to go in this. I don't want to read these cards. Dude, you don't even play Exceed Armor in here. Oh, I'm getting fucking stomach cramps. This is like when you eat food that's bad, when Gordon would spit the food out. I want to do that right now. I don't want to read these cards because I know if I read the cards, I'm going to be more upset. Let's read Goblin King. You know, this is a card I've had in my binder when I was 10 and I knew it was bad. When I was 10, that is 14 years ago. Oh God. While I control another fiend monster, monsters cannot attack this card. This card's attack and defense becomes the number of other fiends times 1,000. You know what the worst part is? These aren't even all fiends. Beast Warrior, Warrior, Fiend, Warrior. What the fuck is this one? What the fuck is that card? Never even seen that card before. And this one is Fiend. Wait, thank you. Okay. Sort the deck. Holy shit. There was a second Goblin King. I didn't even realize. Oh my God. It was even just sort of like a lunatic made it. And this one is Fiend. Okay, Star Fiends, but like, it's not Fiend, not Fiend. And we're missing. There's no Doug Charger. I'm like, I swear there's one that's not a Fiend that's not here. There's just no Doug Charger. Right? Am I missing something? Isn't the whole point to search your Goblin cards? You aren't playing the one that's a Stratos. Didn't play because it's not a Fiend. Then explain the Beast and the Warrior one. Okay, fine. So this is like a 5,000% worse King of the Skull Servants, which is already not a good card. This is the most cursed idea ever. Because the worst part is this was meant to be a deck. There was intent here. Let's read more random Goblin cards. Goblin Black Ops. You're better off playing Black Ops. Go play Call of Duty. You'll be better at that. This card can attack its opponent directly. Okay, congrats. This card attacks, it's changed to defense. This card's that's all it does. And why does this a 3-up? It's not even a Fiend. It's not even a Fiend. What are you doing? What was this note again? It was new Goblin cards support all older Goblin cards. The synergy is here. Trust. Am I looking at the same deck as you? Okay, Goblin Free False God. This has to be new because I haven't seen that card before. This card is special summon from the hand and attack mode. You can target one face-up attack position monster. Face effect monster your opponent controls. Change this card to defense. And negate the effects of that monster while this monster's face-up defense. Monster special summoned to your opponent's field. This card is in your grave. You can discard one card, add it to your hand. What's the point of this? This is like the worst one-for-one trade into a board I think I've ever seen. Guess that's why we play one of it. Goblin Marauding Squad. Also not a Fiend. How many Fiends are in this deck? 3, 6, 8, 10, 10. Including this. This card declares an attack. Pokemon activate card's effect. This card attacks goes to defense. Dude, I know I said there better not be Goblin Attack Squad in here, and I understand there's not, but that would be better than the cards I'm seeing right now. It's Melusine and Dante in one, except we've lost the Send, the Search, the Add from Grave, and the Mill. You're right. It's just like Melusine and Dante. Goblin agreed. As long as this makes face up on the field, neither player can activate an effect by discarding from his or her hand. I mean, the irony of this card is at least this is a floodgate that if you can search is technically a playable card in some matchups. Now, as for what matchup you play this in, what, you can stop Engraver? What else does it stop? I don't fucking know. At least this card has an effect. This card, Pothole Squad. This card is normal summon. Trap cards cannot be activated. Also, Trap Hole, Trap. Cards cannot be activated when a monster is summoned except Dark Trap Hole. Yeah, this is to shut up that Traptrix player at your locals. This gives you an extra Goblin normal summon, right? Normal summon another Goblin monster. Okay, great. This can add any Goblin. It can. Okay. Dude, you could play other Goblin cards. Like, let's take a look on DB what Goblin cards exist. Like, you could be playing Goblin Berg. There's no Doug Charger, which would add your Rhoda, by the way. I just can't believe that. But we've also chosen not to play Goblin Berg, which is like one of the actual good cards, because special summons will 4-lower monster from your hand you can make XYZ plays with. Because that would be better than whatever the hell anything else is here. Scrap Goblin's a tuner. This one special summons any Goblin from deck. Yeah, one level 4-lower Goblin from your deck. Okay, so Goblin Backer's gone wild. I mean, like, if you want to do something cool, what you could do with this is what if you summon Goblin Zombie from the deck? He's a warrior, though. Dude, so are these. So are these. These aren't fiends either. If you said you want to abuse the Goblin support and played Goblin Berg and you were playing Goblin Zombie and playing, like, some XYZ Link Zombie Goblin deck, I'd be like, damn, that's fucking based. Instead, we went with, let me shove random bullshit in my deck and see if Jesse will throw up. This is not like a restaurant that was made to enjoy food. It's like, imagine a restaurant is opened up for the sake of the experience of puking. Maybe it's supposed to be like a cleanser. Like, you get so mad doing this that it resets your system. You know, like you're taking one of those like types of laxatives, whatever, that'll clear out your system. Because that's how bad it'll make me fucking vomit. Let's read the rest of the goblin cards, because why the fuck not at this point? How am I even searching this? Can this even search anything? Oh, there's no goblin bike imprisonment either. That's awesome. I love the quick play spells not in the deck. Anyways, how do I search this? Goblin monsters. Yeah, how do you even search spells and traps? During your end phase, with the bottom card of your deck, then place it on top of the deck or banish it face down. Yeah, this is a great card. How could I have never thought of including this in my deck? You are the best player in the world, and I'm sorry that I ever doubted you for a single second. This is this single tech card that will save Yu-Gi-Oh! But this card, this will break it. This, if you play this in the next YCS, you will win that YCS. Bubble Crash. Dude, you're not even trying anymore. You're not even trying. Yo, fuck Vlad. Vlad saw this deck and thought, yeah, let's submit this to Jesse to review on stream. Of course, I'm not going to have anything meaningful to say. This one isn't even a goblin card. It just has a picture of a goblin in it. This card can only be activated when any player has 6 or more cards on the field and in their hand. The player can select and send cards. Great. I'm not reading the rest of that. This one says, if 100 life points, the activation of a spell and return it to the owner's hand. I remember this card. The goblin out of the frying pan. Yes. And the worst part is, if it's a card that says you can only activate 1 per turn, because it negates the activation, they just use it again. So imagine if we get Sangan Kaiman, which says, let's look at it. Kaiman says you can only activate 1 per turn. So if you negate this card, it goes back to the hand and they can just activate it again. So yeah, combo with Mind Crush. Right? Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of that? I think I'm done with this. There is no salvation for this. There was never meant to be a salvation for this. And I'll relate this back to Gordon Ramsay again. But people would just want to be on Kitchen Nightmares to try to get internet famous by like intentionally making things worse and acting up for the drama. No human ever has brought this to a tournament. I guarantee you, no one has fucking played with this deck. And I don't know why Vlad gave it to me. It's like the producers on my show are out to make me mad too. That being said, the fact that there is some goblin synergy between these cards makes me want to try a goblin deck that's playing other goblins. Not this crap, but Goblinberg and Goblin Zombie specifically. It's not all for nothing, I guess, but I'm done with this. Let's not waste any more time on this tripe. That means you got one final deck to go over. Nevguy, Runic Stun. No.
Nevguy! He's back.
I swear to God, Vlad, I'm gonna fire you. Nevguy 44 submitted Runic Stun. Border is awesome against Link decks and going first or second. I'm gonna fire Vlad. This better not be an actual Runic Stun deck. Okay, I'm not. No. Nope. Bye. We'll do another from one. Vlad, I'm gonna have to talk to Vlad after this. That was he wasn't joking. That was the third one he picked for me. Oh, there's one more. Okay. All right. The son of a monkey put Branded Dogmatica Raw. More God cards again. Okay, it's the second episode in a row we have God cards. Tribute the opponent's board for Raw at any cost. I don't know about any cost, but let's take a look. This sounds like it at least is trying to have synergies, so that sounds great. That'll be the best we'll have today. What the fuck is this website? Custom rarity level shit. Okay, so we've got 2 Winged Dragon and Raws, 3 Sphere Mode, 3 Guardian Slimes, okay. 1 Trick Clown, 3 Spell Cards, Soul Exchange, 3 Soul Crossings, Droplets. So I'm trying to wrap my head around the concept of this deck here. Okay, Ancient Chant isn't here. I didn't see it at first. This looks like an actual thought out deck. And I must say, thank you. I will not have to throw this out. I will not have to throw up upon gazing upon it. Just because I don't think the deck is that good. At least I can tell there's love and care in this. Not just slop being fucking forced down my throat. The idea here is what? Is this a Master Duel deck? Or I guess it could be either, right? There's nothing here indicating it'd be anything. Oh, it's TCG, this Jowgen. I don't love that you embraced evil and decided to just fucking side into Floodgates, but that's besides the point. Yeah, it says here TCG ban list, actually. Okay, so let's think about this. So this seems like a board breaker deck through and through, right? So no hand traps make sense. Are these the best breakers, though, we can be playing right now in general? I'm on board with the Droplet, and I get the value between this. So I wonder if there's too much redundancy, though, between these 6 and Sphere Modes. It's 9 cards, which is a lot. This is a normal spell, so I almost wonder if like you're better off playing Thrusts, and then you can play Thrusts plus like other normal spells that'll help you push through as well. So, and then Thrust can also get cards like Nadir Servant, Brand Infusion, Duster, And then, yeah, maybe even talents, right? A talent's gonna be bad at all, because stealing a card that you can then tribute or drawing to when you're in a bind with draw power can be pretty handy. Because my biggest fear is you have too much of the same cards going on. I understand consistency is important. At the same time, redundancy is also something you need to make sure you're not falling too much of a victim towards. I imagine that's like the biggest point between Tokusano, like the big sword card. I don't know the name, how to pronounce it. If you could run Prosperity, that'd be nice, but I understand how the draw power with the sword conflicts a little bit. So Trick Clown, I guess the purpose of Trick Clown is to summon this out, right? Because you can brand a fusion for that. I wonder, is Foolish not worth playing at all for Trick Clown? Or it's not really, no. Unless you were playing an Albion package, right? I really do wonder if these are necessary, and if you can maneuver this in any different way to be a little less bricky, as well as give me more push. Like some of these cards can maybe be slimmed down, and then like Shrouded Dragon's a good one. Foolish isn't bad either. Sarenir, and then you give the deck a little more branded push. Because going second, one of the best ways to beat a field will be to beat it with engine, right? Obviously, you do have Soul Crossing and shit to clear fields, though it's not like nothing. I also wonder how important Fleur-de-Lis is. From my experience, Fleur-de-Lis almost never comes up as far as either disruption or breaking a field. It's just not important. And in the same vein, without punishment to the deck, I'm probably not playing Ecclesia either. It's probably worth including Quem, however, as Quem. I know you don't want to put focus, I mean, and Cartesia. I know you don't want to put focus too heavily on the branded cards in this deck. It wouldn't be natural. But again, turning your cards into your what's it called, your deck into a way to push your engine. It's a push through fields is important, because then it means the raw can connect. No face cam. Why did it turn off? There we go. I don't know why it turned off. I think that's how I would first approach trying to fix this deck. There's no real point in Ecclesia. It's nothing to search. It's just Maximus, right? And the whole point is you can grab it off of Nadir's Servant. And then that same logic, branded opening would probably be pretty good, right? Because opening gets you Aliber without normal summoning. That's actually specifically incredibly important here, because you're already playing Aliber, right? So you do value consistency to some degree, but it's important to note that when you're trying to break their field using these many means, like Spell Card, Soul Exchange, Soul Crossings, and Sphere Modes, then having a ways to push past your normal summon is going to be a huge difference maker in a lot of games. Because there are some games where if your opponent maintains follow-up, say you're playing with Fire King, and you Sphere Mode them and they have no interruptions left, which is an assumption in and itself. But say we get to that position, then how do we take it the next step? Well, you need to be able to play, right? Otherwise, you pass back, they go Island Effect, gets out of hand, or the Flame Bridge floats and it triggers the Ash, the Ponix, the Oak. Yeah, you need to be able to do meaningful kill pushes. One of the cards that really I do appreciate about Ra is the Sun Dragon or Sun God and Immortal Phoenix, as well as the fact this can get pretty big, means this deck actually has ability to both clear fields and push damage. Like, people make fun of God decks for being unplayable, but truthfully, they have merit. Like, they're not completely useless, which is why I haven't cast this to the side just yet. Now, it's also important to note when we're talking about math and ratios and such, that sticking to 40 is good when you can't add more cards that do the same thing. But when you're having to cram your deck like this, sometimes it's not that bad to go above 40, because you can keep adding cards of equal or better quality into your deck. Now, the problem is you can't keep adding more cards that search raw, at least as far as I understand, right? Because your Chant, Sun God, and Slimes are already maxed out. At least I understand there's not a good way to search them. That would be something else to think about. But going a bit above 40 doesn't seem like a bad idea. No Mulch Armies. Yeah, Mulch Armies should probably be in the side deck at least, if not the main deck. They are pretty good, although I understand it could be a budget issue. But yeah, going above 40, I don't think it'd be a bad idea. So you can fit in some better engine cards, maybe fit in some more non-engine like Talents and Thrusts. But I mean, Thrust can get you into your engine, right? Are there other ways to search Guardian Slime? I'm not sure. Brigrind is level 8. Is it 8 or higher? I can't recall. Let's take a look at Brigrind, because that's not in there, right? One level 8 or higher monster. Yeah, so Brigrind should probably be in there as a way of searching other pieces of the deck. I just realized the name is Church's Chicken. Okay, that's pretty funny. So another thing you can consider is playing a small tier engine. Okay, not even tier engine, tier card. Like, literally just play Sharon in the deck. Because being able to fuse a Sharon plus a Guardian Slime to make a God Slime is actually pretty solid, and obviously it has other applications within Branded itself. And again, it's something else you can Branded for, Fusion for, something you can Foolish for, which I think ultimately makes it worth somewhat considering. Sharon probably being the best to share in a synergy with Guardian Slime. You can just dump it, and then it'll trigger the effects to add. Then from hand to field, yeah, so it'll work with Guardian Slime. Horus would be cool. Yeah, Horus is the standard in these decks, but it takes up extra deck space as well, and it's even more cards in the main deck, and it's more bricks. So I understand if you don't want to go that route, where Sharon is a singular card. Is Ultimate Slayer playable in this? I think Ultimate Slayer is not that good in the TCG until Crossover Breakers comes out. But at that point, yeah. At which point, it would probably still only find space in the side deck. But it's definitely a card you can fit in here. Extra deck shouldn't be that tight, right? Entis can probably be trimmed to 1. You likely don't need Artemis. You likely don't need the Farragut either. I know you want Maximus value, but you have to remember that the branded cards do provide plenty of Maximus value. And then the utility of 1 like Garura and 1 Entis is probably more than enough to satisfy you. Because the only other time I'm thinking of what to use Artemis for. The only thing I can see using Artemis for is if you draw the Trick Clown, right? And you want to trigger the Guardian Slime. I'm seeing now branded opening would also be good for triggering the Guardian Slime. So I'm wondering if you cut the swords, maybe you cut the Rada 1. I know it's a bit weak to like SP. So you cut this, and then give yourself space for like thrust, some more branded cards. Go to like 45, and then you can play like that. And that sounds like you have more ability to play going first and going second, and your engines kind of mesh together better. As for the side deck, I think I understand what this is kind of going for. I don't think you need this. This seems unnecessary. It doesn't seem like a very good card. Although I guess you're not playing any other branded traps. Maybe you need something. Skill drain being unsearchable. Probably just better off playing going second cards. Same with punishment. I understand just Jowgen control. I mean, like if you want to go for Jowgen control, I guess just stick with Jowgen control. Like if you can just go Mirror Jade plus Jowgen, then that's fine. Or you just play Puppet Lock instead of Puppet Lock. Or you can just assume that because you have branded cards, your deck, people will never choose for you to go second. Or choose you go first. Like if you're always going to be going second, then you can just put more cards going second in. Like more specialized cards specifically, right? And the going first cards you do have in there will be more targeted for Tenpai. Because that's like when you will going first. Because your side deck here is kind of just like it feels generic, but also like it doesn't accomplish that much, which is the problem, right? You need to have actual things to be hitting. I think we have a good idea of where to go for this deck. I will say though that this is probably the best out of all the decks that were shown to us. Let me know what you guys think. I guess I gave you my answer, but between Tenpai, Danger, Live Twin, Sprite, and between Goblins, and between Branded Dogmatica Raw, which deck was the best and which has the most potential? I think the answer is the same for both of those questions. In this episode, this last deck, the Raw deck, is clearly the winner, where one feels AI built and one feels like a troll. This is the only one that feels like someone poured their actual heart, thought, and passion into building something. What about the Runic Stun deck list? We don't talk about the Runic Stun deck list. I have to give Vlad a serious talking to. But that's going to be it for this episode of Decklist Nightmares. And you can see I'm not going to be as mean to somebody when they actually submit a real deck list. When you submit your bullshit is when I start flipping out and telling you how stupid you are. You petulant, insolent asswipes. First reminder, guys, you want to submit decks yourself, and submit good ones, please. Link below, as well as if you're watching this on Twitch, you can !Decklist Nightmares, and you'll find the form to submit a deck. That's all out for now. You can catch these live on Twitch on Wednesdays. Otherwise, they'll be back every Thursday on the Highlight channel. So make sure you're subbed, because if you're not, then you're going to miss out. Remember, this is not the main channel. It's a separate channel. So see you guys there.